Week after week, Michigan told us that business was not finished. Coming into tonight, the Wolverines were undefeated, check. Big East champions, check. Rose Bowl champions, check. And the final thing on their to-do list was to pick up a national championship. She still got her points, and that's something that head coach Kim Mulkey said she's going to get her points. But Alexis Morris said that we have to make sure that we neutralize everybody else. Monica Zano, she actually fouled out late there in the fourth quarter. So they were able to get the job done in many facets. Sterling's is a school that can score via air or even on the ground with their many offensive weapons. Shapanche says he's been impressed with the offensive balance. That same balance that's allowed them to average about 35 points per game this season. You talk about her being a catalyst. She had 2 home runs on the day. The first one was actually a 3-run blast in game 1, and she just kept that same energy going in game 2, where she would get a grand slam, that ball hitting right off the foul pole. And head coach Matt McCullough's tenure, the Rams have averaged over 60 points per game in this series, while holding the Broncos to 71 total points in 4 matchups. If history is on the Rams' side, they're primed to stay clean in the district after the matchup. Now, first of all, we have to get video of the fit, because I think Casey might be the freshest guy in here, to be honest. Would you agree with that?
I think I am. I appreciate that, too.
For the LSU Tigers, better known as the 2023 national champions, their mantra this season is not to defend the title, but to attack the title, something that's been echoed around Alex Box Stadium. Now, I asked head coach Jay Johnson, what will it take for them to raise the bar heading into 2024? He says that's how he's operated his entire life, and he's hoping that that is something that trickles down to this roster going into the season. Making their way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. Having last year Poa back in the lineup, she's healthy. You were there when she unfortunately suffered that injury, but what is it like having her back and the performance that she had today?
I'm so happy to have her back. I mean, she brings so much to this team.
Alicia Bland, who had a breakout game, she had 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 100% from the free throw line. She told us that she would be ready for when her number was called. But they have the advantage of going against a team they've had success against, going 3-1 against Oklahoma City in the regular season. They look to put the final dub against the Thunder after tonight. For the first time in a long time, Cecilia is heading back to the Superdome.
Cecilia is your state champion.
The last appearance for the Bulldogs was 1995, where they were crowned state champs.
Seeing the community, seeing the old pictures brings me back to the time of 1995 like it was yesterday.
Their 2023 success has been the catalyst for their historic run. The Bulldogs have only lost 1 game this year, clinching the 2 seed in the Division II non-select playoff bracket. Head coach Dennis Gaines says the work began last November after losing in the second round.
We like to say it started in January, but the truth is it started in November, about an hour after our last football game. It's something our staff's kind of always done. As soon as the last game's over, we start prepping while everything's fresh in our mind on the next season.
The population of Cecilia is over 1,500 people, a small but tight community where everybody knows somebody, where many attended CHS, and where all are anxious to relive a championship victory.
Specifically, I remember driving on the bus, the charter. We were going by the levee, and somebody had put on the levee, last one to leave, turn off the lights.
And as Cecilia makes their trek back to the state title game for the first time in nearly 3 decades, it's a very special moment for one key member of this team. For one assistant coach, he takes this week to reflect back to the player behind the jersey to the man in the headset.
This was actually my locker, right here.
Jason Falk was a junior defensive back when the Bulldogs painted the dome green and gold. He says he remembers the moment like it was yesterday when they were handed the hardware.
And I remember it being hoisted by the whole team. Like, it felt like everybody was in the middle, and I just remember the trophy going up.
As Falk relives the week of preparation, he says it's also been a very somber week.
It became very, very emotional just because of the text messages I got. I got a lot of text messages from people that I played with, people that were in the community, and they started, basically telling me, how awesome it must be to have my son on the team. And it just all of a sudden hit me.
In his emotional trip to the Dome, Falk leans on the importance of family. In '95, his now wife, Christy, was a trainer for the team, and their kids, Carly and Colton, share the same Bulldog pride. Falk wants nothing more than to share the gold with his family at home and his family on the field.
I think it's going to be a special moment for him, and it's going to be a special moment for the guys who played in that game and come back and watch. And we're excited that we're able to kind of give that back to them.
The thought of going out there and completing the circle is a thought that I want to make come true so bad. Not for myself, but I want my family to feel it, and I want this community to feel it, and I want every kid in this locker room to feel it.
In Cecilia, Meagan Glover, KTC Sports. The last year for Shane Vallot has been full of lessons.
Playing football, you got to be tough. You go through a lot, but this is kind of a different turn here. It's more of mental toughness.
After helping lead Louisiana football to his best season in program history, his dreams of becoming a football coach was right across the line of scrimmage. Vallot followed former Cajuns head coach Billy Napier to Florida, but he would soon be reminded that home is where the heart is.
It was tough making the decision to come back home. Coach Napier didn't want me to leave, and it was kind of tough, but I thought it was the best decision for myself.
Returning to the Flats, Vallot coached his first season with St. Thomas More, winning a state championship. But he was also able to jumpstart his own business, Sauce Bon Catering. Pancakes aren't the only thing he could serve on the field, but in the kitchen as well. Kind of take me back. We knew when you were still playing for UL that you were a good cook, but take me back to how did we even get here? Where did you learn? How did you learn?
Really, I just learned because I like to eat. Of course, I was always a lineman. I just started trying things, and like one day, the reason why I came with these quesadilla burgers is because one day I was cooking some burgers at home, and I was cooking them already, and I didn't have any buns. So I went in the house, and I was like, well, I don't have time to go to the store. So I went and I had tortillas, and I was like, you know what? I guess we're eating them with tortillas today.
And now Vallot is on the brink of opening a restaurant, Shane's famous quesadilla burgers, an establishment. They'll be full of flavor. When you reflect back on it, how crazy has this year been for you, and maybe gratifying?
It's been really crazy, I tell you that. When I launched my catering business, I didn't think I would. I mean, the goal was always to open up a restaurant one day and do that, but I didn't think it would happen this quick. It's been an interesting journey, I would say, so far, and I'm in it for the long run, so I'm waiting to see what happens.
Reporting in Lafayette, Meagan Glover, KTC TV3. All eyes on him, Thaddeus Sam of Opelousas was just doing what he does best.
My dad used to train horses, me and him, and I used to stand up on horses, and ever since then I just fell in love with horses.
On Sunday, his one-year-old calf Levi made his debut in the Palmetto Parade with T. Sam guiding the way, giving his horse Ludacris a break from the spotlight. The video was spread like wildfire around Acadiana with over 1,000 shares, but the comments would shed light to the man on top.
The past 3 years has been a long road because watching Thaddeus go from riding horses, breaking horses, and around the yard doing chores to not being able to do anything for himself.
In 2018, T. Sam was shot at a trail ride. The bullet in his neck causing a spinal cord injury, leaving him paralyzed from the waist down. Doctors said he would never walk or ride his horses ever again.
Being in the hospital, laying down with wires everywhere.
One response I made to the doctor was, if you continue to tell somebody that's in that condition, the only thing that you will do is condition their mind to want to hurt themselves.
After spending 30 days in the hospital and feeling depressed, T. Sam decided to get out of his slump and saddle up. Throughout rehab, he had to learn new ways of still doing what he loved.
I came home, I wanted to ride my horse. My daddy put me on my horse, like probably 4th day from being in the hospital. And then I liked it, but I didn't like it because I really couldn't do what I would normally do. One day I just was like, I can't let my little boy see me down, so I just manned up and I started messing with my horses.
I asked T. Sam if he spoke with the doctors who told him that he had little to no chance of ever walking again, and he says he wishes he could show them what he's doing now and show them how it's all about the bigger picture. In Opelousas, Meagan Glover, KTC TV3.